Join us at Women of Courage and celebrate the achievements of women. Before we begin, we're going to take a few moments to collect ourselves and to relax before we engage into our discussion. What we need to do is to focus now on bringing positive energy into our lives and into the world. The energy that we project every day is the same energy that we get back. We have all seen those people that can walk into a room and they glow. People want to be around them. People feel better being in their presence. That's the energy that we need to create. And once we learn how to do this, our lives will be filled with greatness. We will attract that positive energy, and how we can do this is by changing our outlook, meeting every day with gratitude, thankfulness, optimism, and once you do this, you will see a change in yourself. I want you to take a moment and close your eyes. Think about everything positive in your life: family, friends, a career, your faith. All of this is how you start your day. Every morning when you wake up, I want you to think about what is positive in your life. I want you to list 10 reasons why your life is amazing. You will see the change. You will be changed. You will begin to attract life's blessings. Lead with gratitude. Be thankful and think positive. Good afternoon, and thank you for tuning in. This is Gloria Lee, the moderator for the show Women of Courage. Wherever you are in the world, I need you to know one thing right now. You are amazing. I know you might be upset. I know you might be hurting. And I know you might be frustrated. I know because all of these things happened to me. I was homeless for 2 years, and all I had was a computer, my son, and a car. I want you to know you still have a purpose in life, and it is my job to help you believe that again. Do you want to believe? Can you see that the divorce was not meant to take you out? Can you believe that the lost house and the lost job is a setup for something greater? By the end of this broadcast, you'll be injected with so much that you cannot help but believe again. And I am going to help you do just that. Are you ready? I got some things I want to share with you. And I will even make suggestions on books and activities that you can implement, which will ultimately bring healing and wholeness to you. If you are ready to be healed, if you're ready to be whole, just jot down the pointers I give and watch your life transform. No matter what happened, no matter whose fault it was, today is a new day, and your time to live and be free is now. Join me in this journey to wholeness. Your time for total healing is now. Today you shall recover. Wholeness, healness, and peacefulness is in the mind. That is where all battles for life end and begin.
This is Minister Gloria Lee. Last month I put an ad in this paper asking the readers to go to the websites https://nisv.info and website https://touchedbythelight.us and download the booklet Black Women and Breast Cancer. Then send the PDF file to 5 other women, asking them to do the same. I got absolutely no replies to this request. So I'm submitting this short article to demonstrate the effect that death has on children, especially the death of their mother. Breast cancer must be fought all year long. For every woman murdered, there is probably a child left behind. That child will be raised by a relative or placed in foster care. If placed in foster care, the child languishes until adopted. Children who have lost their mothers due to murder do not always fare well, even if adopted. Parentless children suffer. How would you like to be told your mother was murdered because your father was angry and the court gave her custody of you? These children suffer from being left behind. It does not matter how many uncles, cousins, sisters, or brothers a child has. Nothing takes the place of a parent. The function of a parent is to give a child a feeling of security and placement. No individual can take the place of a parent. The parent is the rock for the attachment of a child. A parent is the child's strength. A child is able to say no when a parent is present. The child is able to make choices and negotiate when their parents are present. Their sovereignty is taken away from them when they are motherless. Parents are the resolution of life for children, and no child should be made to live without his or her mother. This nation apparently does not understand or does not want to understand the devastation visited upon society when the mother is missing from the home. Children need their mothers, and they should not have to suffer all their lives by having their mothers taken away from them. There has been enough posturing by politicians in this country for the past century. The problem of violence against women must be solved. Living without a mother is worse than living without food or water. Social scientists can design thousands of grieving programs for children who have lost their parents, but nothing will replace the pain and void a child feels in not being able to see his or her mother again. There was a man sitting in a bar during a fundraising event. When he learned money was being collected for a little girl because her mother was recently murdered, he openly wept in that bar. He said the child's life would never be the same. He knows because he had to live without his mother. Do you realize how powerful the pain was inside this man for him to weep openly in a bar? He was not only crying for that child, he was crying for himself. It will only take 5 minutes of your time to download the PDF file Black Women and Breast Cancer and send it to 5 friends. You could help save a life. Early detection of cancer is important. There are 2 major killers of Black women, murder and breast cancer. Women can be instrumental in saving women in both of these situations. Sticking your head in the sand and ignoring this problem is no solution. Standing up and facing the monsters confronting us is one solution. And for your information, sticking children in foster care leads to prostitution and prison. Our radio show deals with social issues. It will not hurt you to listen. Why? Because some of this information discussed may help save your life and the lives of your children or family members. There are monsters walking our streets, ladies, and we need to stand up and fight them. Sadly, breast cancer is among the most common cancers that occur in women. By simply being a female, you've already increased your risk of developing breast cancer. And though men have been known to develop breast cancer, it is nearly 100 times more common in women. It is estimated that every 2 minutes a woman or man is diagnosed with breast cancer in the United States. The chance that a woman will die from breast cancer is about 2.6%, or 1 in 38 cases. It can be a devastating diagnosis for any woman. That's why awareness surrounding breast cancer is incredibly important, as early screening can detect the disease when it's most treatable. Put simply, it would be safe to say that if diagnosed early, most women and men can be cured of this cancer. The key is early diagnosis. At Touched by the Light, our goal is to increase the awareness of breast cancer and show that every man and woman who is battling this illness, that their life is important. We are looking to raise money and champion the fight against breast cancer by selling 5 different books that are all about empowering you to become the best version of yourself. And among other exciting topics, learn how you can automatically become the prophet of your own life with You Are the Prophet of Your Life, which is all about teaching you how to prophecy to yourself because you are an offspring of the living word and a people of prophecy. Or how, as a Christian, you can avoid negative forces and defend your minds with knowledge with Know Your Enemy. What's more, you'll receive a free gift for every book you purchase as our token of appreciation. By working together, we can inspire hope and become a force for good to get breast cancer patients to access the care they need. Tell a friend about our campaign, and you'll also be helping us fight this disease. To help you save on shipping and handling, the books are available exclusive at the radio station, WHPR TV 33 160 Victor Street in Highland Park. To learn more about us and our initiatives, tune in to the Women of Courage show that airs on WHPR 88.1 FM every Friday from 3 to 4 p.m. and every Sunday from 8 to 9 a.m. Also visit www.touchedbythelight.us to access our entire book collection. Please go to https://nisv.info and download the Black Women and Breast Cancer PDF. Together we can fight this disease and win. Dear listeners, help us save a life. Stop breast cancer from taking lives. Will you assist us in putting the booklet, Black Women and Breast Cancer, into the hands of 1 million people? Please go to the website touchedbythelight.us and download the booklet, Black Women and Breast Cancer. Then email this booklet to 5 family members and friends, asking them to email the booklet to 5 of their friends. We're trying to reach 1 million women with this information to save lives. The death of one woman to breast cancer from our community is one woman too many. We thank you for your support.
Women, whether married or single, condone various degrees of abuse for reasons such as no source of income, the fear of losing custody of their children, exposure to information, low self-esteem, stigmatization, and many more. More often than not, the woman is prevailed upon to be forgiving regardless of the ordeal she undergoes daily or the scars she has tattooed all over her body. Most heart-wrenching is that fact that sometimes the physical trauma, the psychological torture, and the emotional enhancement transforms a once beautiful and loving woman into a recluse. To this end, many have died and many more are held in severe bondage that they cannot easily escape from. Domestic violence is an act of intimidation, physical, verbal, or emotional abuse that has become epidemic. Often we have woken up to read of murder and violence. Domestic violence happens across all sectors of society. It cuts across the education and the literacy, the religious, and the free thinkers, classes of career women and stay-at-home wives, the married and the single, as well as all ages. Domestic violence is a subject that women do not want to discuss. Domestic violence occurs when a person uses physical violence, coercion, threat, intimidation, isolation, stalking, emotional abuse, sexual abuse, economic abuse to control another partner in a relationship. Domestic violence can be a single act or a pattern of behavior in relationships which encompass dating, marriage, family, and roommate relationships. It is a violation of the rights we all have to healthy, supportive, and safe relationships. Domestic violence is a serious social problem and a national health concern with significant negative impacts on individuals and our communities. It is a primary cause of injury to women in the United States. According to the National Institute of Justice, over one-third, 37% of women admit to an emergency room for violent-related injuries were abused by an intimate partner. Additionally, 1 in 3 women in the United States are physically abused by a partner at some point in their life. The Center for Disease Control reports that approximately 1.3 million women are physically abused each year in the United States. Each domestic violence situation is different, yet all abusers use similar ways to get what they want and keep power and control. Batterers can be charming, they can be sweet and apologetic one minute and abusive the next. The abused partner can be confused and kept off balance by these changes in the batterer's behavior. Sometimes survivors describe the abuser as having a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde personality. If violence or threats of violence has happened more than once or twice, it is extremely likely to happen again. The violence usually gets worse over time, increasing in both frequency and severity. It is common for the abuse to develop into a pattern or a cycle of abuse. There is a buildup of tension and a breakdown in communication. A trigger occurs that sets off the batterer. A violent event occurs. Then there is the honeymoon period that follows. The batterer apologizes, he asks for forgiveness, and swears it'll never happen again. He courts the partner. The survivor wants to believe the batterer will change, and they make up. Life returns to normal until tension begins again, and the cycle continues. Domestic violence and abuse can happen to anyone, yet the problem is often overlooked, excused, or denied. This is especially true when the abuse is psychological rather than physical. Noticing and acknowledging the signs of an abusive relationship is the first step to ending it. If you recognize yourself or someone you know in the following description of abuse, reach out now. There is help available. No one should live in fear of the person they love. Just as the use of physical violence on the street is illegal, the use of physical violence in a relationship is an illegal act for which the abuser can be arrested and prosecuted. To speak up and say no to domestic violence. This message is for anyone who is in an abusive relationship. You who don't know what to do about your abusive relationship, you who don't know where to go to help, and you who do not know your rights. An abuser may exert control by downplaying the seriousness of what they're doing to you. As a result, it is easy to understand the amount of danger that you're in. It's vital to protect yourself from harm if you feel you are being abused. Must decide if you are in immediate danger. How likely is it that someone will hurt you? Sometimes it's hard to work out the danger or risk to yourself. If you're unsure about your safety, it is important that you talk to someone. If you feel uncomfortable, you may have to move to somewhere safe. Then you need to get support. Making a decision to leave a situation where you feel unsafe may be hard and scary. If possible, talk to someone you trust, such as a friend, a counselor, or a worker, someone that you know will not discuss your business. Then talk to the police. If you feel unsafe, talk to the police. They are there to protect you. You can also call state and territory support lines to talk about the risk that you face. Then you must believe in yourself, because if you decide to leave, you must believe that you can survive on your own, and you can. If someone is hurting you or threatening to hurt you, it can be hard to maintain your self-confidence or your feelings of self-worth. You might even want to blame yourself. Remember that it is never okay for someone to hurt you or threaten to hurt you. The best thing you can do in this situation is to remove yourself from it. You need to know your rights. Check out your legal rights at the Law Stuff website. Every state has laws designated to protect you against all forms of domestic violence. Where to go? Recognizing there is a problem is the first step in getting help. The second is to know that you are not alone. If you need to get out fast, you have a number of options. To go for refuge. A shelter or refuge is a place where you can seek temporary accommodations while you sort out your next step. There are usually other services available in a refuge, including legal services, emotional support, practical help such as food and clothing, and good security, a place to sleep. You can go to a family or friend, but you must be careful. If you can, get in contact with a trusted family member or friend and ask them if you can stay with them for a while until you work out what you do next. Best thing to do is go to a friend that your abuser does not know. Go to a family member that your abuser does not know. If you suspect that someone you know is being abused, speak up. If you're hesitating, telling yourself it's none of your business, you might be wrong, or the person might not want to talk about it. Keep in mind that expressing your concern will let the person know that you care and may even save their life. Talk to the person in private and let them know that you're concerned. Point out the things you notice and that makes you worry. Tell the person that you're there for them whenever they feel ready to talk. Tell the person that you are there whenever they feel ready to talk. You need to reassure the person that you'll keep whatever is said between the two of you and let them know that you'll help in any way you can. If you're not committed to this, do not interfere. Do not tell this person that you're going to listen to them and then you go tell your sister or brother what they said. If you can't keep your mouth shut, you need to leave the situation alone because you can make this person lose their life because of your loose lips. Again, even if you know the person is being abused, if you're not going to truly help them, then you need to stay away from them. Remember, abusers are very good at controlling and manipulating their victims. People who have been emotionally abused or battered are depressed. They are drained. They are scared. They are ashamed and confused. They need help to get out, but they often are being isolated from their family and friends. By picking up on the warning signs and offering support, you can help them escape an abusive situation and begin healing. You must understand that this situation is extremely difficult. If you're going to help them escape, then you need to do it when the abuser is not around, when the abuser is at work. You need to keep your mouth shut. You don't need to tell anybody what you're doing, and you do not need to tell anyone where you're taking the person who is being abused. Again, this is a very dangerous situation, and it must be considered and planned well. You must know what you are doing when you get ready to assist a person who is trying to escape an abusive relationship, because too often people get killed because the abuser shows up because he's been forewarned. So you must keep your mouth shut if you're going to help someone, and you must do it when the abuser is not at home. And never tell anyone that you helped this person escape. I don't care if it's years later. Keep your mouth closed. I am going to pause for a second to take a short break while you listen to information regarding willpower and encouragement. It is all a matter of learning new behaviors. And please remember, it is easier to build strong minds than to repair injured people. What I said is a modification of a quote by Frederick Douglass. He said, "It is easier to build strong children than to repair broken men." Now for my break.
You were built to push boundaries. You were designed to go beyond the breaking point. But somewhere down the line, you got comfortable. You decided settling was the best option. There are no comfort zones on the path to success. There is no wait once you see an opportunity. In this life, we don't walk around our fears. We grit our teeth, we run over those fears. So show me where you come from. Where risk is taken and the pride is won. We don't stop in this life. We don't quit in this life. We push until the day we die.
You need to live life with a purpose. You need to spend the time needed to explore, to find your true passion. There are so many unhappy people in this world not willing to make a change. There are so many unhappy people not focusing on the big picture. 1 out of 3 people are happy with their lives. Think about that for a second. 70% of the people you see every day are not happy. And the majority of that has to do with purpose. People are programmed, wired to be okay with the minimum. People stay in jobs they're not passionate about. They date people who don't support them, hang out with people who don't help them grow. This can't be you. You need to spend the time to discover what your true calling is. What are you passionate about? What do you see yourself doing to make your mark? Are you in a job right now that you're truly happy with? Do you wake up every morning excited to start your day? If not, that's okay. You know now this isn't fulfilling you. But what are you gonna do about it? Are you willing to make a change to help reach your goals? If you are, it needs to start now. Because this won't happen overnight, finding your true calling. But once you do, you will see how everything changes. You will begin to see the quality of your life increase. All those problems you had, they slowly fade. You begin to see how powerful life is with a purpose.
Here's an essay I would like for you to hear. It is entitled, Finding the Light. We would like for you to imagine that you are standing in darkness, but there is a circle of light shining all around you. As you walk, the circle of light moves with you. Now imagine you are walking toward another woman standing in darkness. She is also surrounded by a circle of light. Now if you continue to walk toward her, your light and her light will overlap. Now imagine that the two of you begin walking toward a third woman who is standing in darkness, but also surrounded by a circle of light. As the two of you approach the third woman, your lights will begin to overlap. Now there are 3 of you standing together in the light, surrounded by darkness, and you begin walking toward a 4th woman. What do you think is going to happen? The 4th woman's light will overlap the lights surrounding the 3 of you. Something else is going to happen. The illumination surrounding the 4 of you will be greater than the illumination surrounding any one woman, increasing your visual perception, allowing you to peer into the darkness with greater accuracy. We believe every woman living in this country has a light surrounding her that can help solve the the problems of domestic violence and sexual violence. We believe women must come together with their individual lights out of the darkness to illuminate all the dark shadows and foes hiding this awful crime. If the women in this country and the world begin speaking with one voice to their fathers, to their husbands, to their sons, to their brothers, to their uncles, to their nephews, to their cousins, and to their grandfathers, sooner or later the men in this country and the world will hear us, and they will understand that they must join us in stopping violence against all women. Our voices must become a crescendo, and we must work together. Galatians 6:1, bear one another's burden and rid ourselves of guilt and sin. Some years ago, I read the book entitled Evil Under the Sun. The book was written by Agatha Christie and acted by her most famous detective, Hercule Poirot. Evil Under the Sun was published in England by Agatha Christie June 1941, which means Miss Christie wrote Evil Under the Sun during the Battle of Britain. Think of her tenacity. Her country was at war, yet she sat down and wrote a novel to entertain people. There's a passage in Deuteronomy 30:19 that describes that. Today I am giving you a choice. I am now giving you a choice between life and death, between God's blessing and God's curse. And I call heaven and earth to witness the choice you make. You can visit touchedbythelight.us and learn what our books have to offer to you. Dear listeners, help us save a life. Stop breast cancer from taking lives. Will you assist us in putting the booklet Black Women and Breast Cancer in the hands of 1 million people? Please go to the website www.touchedbythelight.us and download the booklet Black Women and Breast Cancer. Then email this booklet to 5 friends, asking them to email the booklet to 5 of their friends. We are trying to reach 1 million women with this information to save lives. The death of one woman to breast cancer from our community is one woman too many. We thank you for your support.
In the era of speedy development and drastic social changes, the cancer scenario has also changed. Breast cancer has become the #1 cancer in women, and according to research, breast cancer is the most frequent cancer among women, causing over 500,000 deaths every year. Breast cancer is one of the preventable diseases. Therefore, raising awareness surrounding breast cancer is incredibly important, as early detection, often through screening, can catch the disease when it is most treatable. At Touched by the Light, our goal is to raise the awareness of breast cancer and help reduce the mortality rate caused by this fatal disease. We are looking to do this by selling 5 different books that are all about helping you to improve your life to help us raise sufficient funds for our breast cancer awareness campaign. From the You Are the Prophet of Your Life by Gloria G. Lee, that's all about teaching you how to prophecy into your life like God wanted, to the Prayer Jar that's designed to help you strengthen your prayer life, to life-saving advice that provides you with important life tips to change your life for the better. Journey to the Middle Kingdom and What You Must Do to Win. You'll enjoy a great read that's certain to change your life. All we're asking you to do is support our breast cancer initiative by purchasing one or more of our books on WHPR TV 33, 160 Victor Street, Highland Park, www.nisv.info, and www.touchedbythelight.us. And as a token of our appreciation, we'll give you a free gift for every book you purchase. Also, please don't forget to tune in to the Women of Courage show that broadcasts on WHPR 88.1 every Friday from 3 to 4 p.m. and every Sunday from 8 to 9 a.m. Remember, by telling your friend about our campaign, you'll be helping us fight this deadly disease. Call us today at 734-786-3233 for more information.
Hi, I decided that at the end of every show for the next year, I would share excerpts from a book that I believe would enhance your life and make you a stronger thinker and problem solver. All characteristics that will help you win at life and raise stronger and healthy children. Many of you turn your nose up at reading, or you snub the advice that you must read in life to succeed, or you compare the cost of a book to getting a new pair of shoes or getting your hair done or your nails done. The reason why you make these cost comparisons is because you do not truly value a book. A book is a magnificent instrument that can change the course of your life and the lives of your children. In later shows, I plan to discuss with you how a book changed the lives of certain people. I understand that you do not earn a lot of money, and this money is valuable to you because of all the things you see advertised that you desire, and you do not want to spend a lot of money on a book. A new pair of shoes is more valuable to you than a book. If you truly cannot afford a book, then you need to go to the library and take your children with you for a day of reading. You must gird your loins and proceed at educating yourself. Some of you seem to think that having a conversation with your stupid girlfriend or your stupid boyfriend will help you more than reading a book, when actually having a conversation with your loudmouth girlfriend or loudmouth boyfriend is merely a cathartic, allowing you to blow off steam and proclaim how life has been so unfair to you. What you do not realize is that the advice coming from your do-nothing girlfriend or your do-nothing boyfriend is advice coming from a fool. Your do-nothing girlfriend is a sexual opportunist looking for a man she can impress with her body. When her vagina fails her, what will your girlfriend do but go to work at McDonald's or Wendy's at the age of 60 and continue to spread her ignorance at church? Her daughter will be on the street and her son in prison. She will never realize that her life is the result of the decision she made not to educate herself through reading. All her life, she felt that she had something better to do than reading. She had something better to do than reading with her children. She had something better to do than working with her children. And that was going to the bar, trying to entertain a man, or trying to find some man that would buy her a pair of shoes. A man spending money on her was more important than educating herself. In later shows, I'm going to spend a great deal of time giving you some examples of fools. These are people who think they are smart, willing to trade their body and integrity for a dollar bill. These people end up in the cemetery after lamenting each and every day of their lives about their unfulfilled dreams. Do not be upset by the use of the word fool. You tell me if a woman is not a fool to instruct her grandson to kill her husband for a $25,000 life insurance. Let that sink in for a moment. Instead of instructing her grandson to make something of his life, the grandmother instructs her grandson to become a murderer, to kill his grandfather. I have this anecdotal advice for you about reading. Listen to this short true story. A friend and I were talking. She said a woman she knew called her and sought to renew their friendship. During their conversation, the woman told my friend that President Trump had done so much for black people, and that's why she voted for him in 2016, and she was going to vote for him again in the upcoming election. My friend asked her a question. She said, "Tell me some of the things that Trump has done for black people." The woman said, "A whole lot." My friend persisted and asked her to name one thing that Trump had done for black people. The woman could not. The woman kept using the phrase "a whole lot of things." My friend said after a while she stopped talking. Finally, the conversation was over and my friend hung up. My friend said, as she hung up, she made up her mind right then that she would never renew her friendship with this woman. Now ask yourself why. Why would she not renew her friendship with this woman? You can answer this question in 2 words. The woman was a poor thinker. She never investigated anything that was told to her. Whether you know it or not, a person who is a poor thinker, who does not examine his or her thinking, is a very dangerous person indeed. Think about it. To supplement what you are learning today, I suggest you read the book A Christian is Never Desperate. The information you read will help you lay a foundation for dealing with negative people, fear, and avoidance. This book is especially good for the woman or man who is just divorced, or the man who lost his girlfriend, or the woman who has lost her boyfriend, or the man or woman who is starting a new business. In other words, if you are full of fear, you can learn to stand up. It is just a matter of developing good behavior and trying over and over again, learning from your mistakes. If you email us at murderedvoices@gmail.com, we can tell you how to obtain the book, The Christian is Never Desperate. It sells for $9.95. Believe me, you will enjoy reading the book over and over again, and there is much to learn. A Christian is Never Desperate is not available in bookstores. You can only obtain the book through the Women and Children Restoration Ministry out of Ann Arbor. Unlike bookstores, the proceeds realized from the sale of the book go to programs that help women and children in stress. The book tells you that you can be victorious over adversity. A Christian acts and lives by faith. God always has a miracle for you. He gives you the facts you need to make important decisions, to be successful, and to overcome mediocrity. A Christian is Never Desperate is another one of our pocket-sized devotionals that you can keep in your car, in your purse, or at work whenever you need to reach for something that will strengthen you to fight the day. When a problem strikes, when the horizon looks gloomy and gray, it is not time for despair. It is not time to act as if there is no hope. It is time to tell the storm that God is with you and there is nothing to fear. You can read the book at touchedbythelight.us. You can read the first chapter of the book and watch a video. This book was not written to indoctrinate you into the cult of being a Christian. We do not ask you to follow God blindly. The book was written to help you stand against soothsayers who do not want you to prosper. A Christian is Never Desperate discusses the trinity of trouble, which is worry, doubt, and fear. Are you the person like the Jews in the desert who murmured and doubted and argued with Moses and Aaron concerning their faith when they encountered the trinity of trouble, worry, doubt, and fear? The book A Christian is Never Desperate is for people who have encountered the trinity of trouble. Worry, doubt, and fear will put you in the grave if you let it. Men carried around demons for years, long times until the demons start to take over. Worry is the repetition of one or several thoughts of doom. Doubt is the everlasting question, is something right or wrong? Fear is always being afraid. Worry, doubt, and fear can destroy your continence. These emotions can land you in the hospital or on the psychiatric couch. Drugs and alcohol are only temporary fixes to making you feel good. The book Christian is Never Desperate tells you that you do not have to succumb to these emotions. You do not have to drug yourself with pills and alcohol. A Christian is Never Desperate tells you it is time to change the way you live. Today can be a major turning point in your life. When you want something that you have never had, you must do something that you have never done. So if you want to change your life forever, you must change your behavior today. If you are struggling to control your life, here's an opportunity for you to change. Pick up a book and read it. We are just as responsible for the things we do as we are responsible for the things we do not do. This is the day you can change. Make your life exciting again. Get out of the rut. You can change your world one step at a time. There is no reason why you cannot reach for your dream. Remember, if you are feeling lost, come join us on Saturday and see what you can do when you work with like-minded women. Here are some questions for you. What is desperation? What causes desperation? What leads to desperation? Why can't desperation be managed? The dictionary defines the word desperation as a noun, as lost hope and surrender to despair, a state of hopelessness leading to rashness. The synonyms for despair are despondence, forlornness, and hopelessness. The dictionary goes on to provide a sentence for the meaning of despair. She felt overcome by desperation, the desperation of severe poverty. They hired me out of desperation because they couldn't find anyone else. As you read the definition of the word desperation, one becomes surrounded by gloom. This is a dark word, a word no one wants to use very often. One would say your life sucks if you are desperate. Desperation is not a happy occasion. Desperation is an emotion that can lead you to kill someone, to commit adultery, to cheat at work, or to commit a foolish act. A desperate person feels there is no way out. They are boxed into one behavior. Thoughts run through their mind. I have to do this or else. I have to try this even though I don't think it will work. Maybe I can win. These are the questions and situations we explore in A Christian is Never Desperate. The supposition is if you believe in God, that God should appear in your life causing you not to commit a desperate act. There should be enough information in God's Word to cause a man or a woman to reconsider acting desperately. Below are 4 headlines discussing the crimes 4 grandmothers are accused of committing. What caused or what drove these women to break the law? Why did these women think they had to sell drugs or have their husband killed for money? Look at the headlines. Friday, February the 17th, 2012, the News 8 broadcast reported grandmother arrested in drug bust in Ansonia, Connecticut. Friday, April 5th, 2012. The following article, American grandmother jailed on drug charges, was published in the Jamaica Observer. Either the television or someone made Jane Carmichael, age 52, believe drug smuggling was easy. This assumption will now cost her 12 years of her life. April 13, 2012. Remember, the following article, marijuana grandma arrested, was reported in the news broadcast in Florida. April 10, 2013. The following article, grandmother arrested with grandson in murder plot, was reported. Thursday, January the 2nd, 2014. The following article said, grandmother arrested for calling 911 to report a beer emergency. This was reported by Fox 8 at GHPB. All of these articles reported elderly women acting badly. The news is shocking. You can't help but ask yourself, what happened to these women? How can a grandmother sell drugs or ask her grandson to commit murder? Grandmothers do not sell drugs or have their grandsons kill their husbands for for money. Something is seriously wrong. What made these women act the way they did? What caused elderly women to act out of character and break the law? Selling drugs is not a traffic ticket. Selling drugs is a felony, a crime that causes years in prison. We believe these women were desperate. We think they failed at life and wanted money in their old age, and they were willing to take a chance to get the money. What made these women act desperate? We explore desperation in the book A Christian is Never Desperate. These women had a problem, and they decided to use a bad method to solve that problem. One facet of problem solving that can lead to a better solution is changing the way one thinks. Most people persist in doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result, when actually what the person needs to do to solve many of their problems is to change the way they think and to change the associates they live around and to begin acquiring information that from a different source. People need a stratified information source, not a localized information source. That means the same old friends. What leads to desperation is when a person's thinking something is imminent, is going to happen, and there's no way out except to commit a desperate act, like stealing or lying. Read and study the book A Christian is Never Desperate. See if you can find information that will help you avoid being desperate. The choices we make change who we become, causing us to say, who would I be now if only I had done such and such a thing? Where would I be if I had married Bob instead of Charlie? Think about it. Who would I be now if I had just changed? Once you read A Christian is Never Desperate, you will discover that the book was written to help you manage your life by helping you examine your behavior. The discussion is to give you something solid on which to stand mentally, because examining oneself is a pretty shaky proposition. It is not easy asking oneself extremely personal questions and expecting an honest answer in return. This is why we have chosen certain words for you to examine and relate these words to your behavior. So far, we have discussed 5 words: fear, worry, doubt, assumption, and comparison. We have 2 more words to go. The words are if and laughter. The first 3 words I call the Trinity of trouble. The second 3 words I call the Trinity of death. The granddaddy of them all is the word laughter. Every year, thousands of people enter the hospital because of these words, and many pop pills, drink alcohol to the excess, or take tranquilizers because of these words. During our discussion, did you notice the emotions these words elicit? The reason why we are discussing these words is because words are powerful forces in our life. We are not discussing these words by accident. I mention these words because I want you to realize what a powerful impact they have on your life and the life of your children. The purpose of all of this self-examination is the children. In order for your child to live a safe, happy life, you must have a healthy thought life. Children suffer when their parents do not have a happy thought life. Think about it. Doesn't your mood affect the happiness of your children? Children are easily frightened. Children are keenly attached to our emotions and moods. So do not think it is just yourself that you are helping when you listen to these broadcasts or read the books we recommend. Helping you is just the tip of the iceberg, because we are influencing incoming generations through the changes you make in your life. You must examine the way you think if you want to live a better life.
In the era of speedy development and drastic social changes, the cancer scenario has also changed. Breast cancer has become the #1 cancer in women. And according to research, breast cancer is the most frequent cancer among women, causing over 500,000 deaths every year. Breast cancer is one of the preventable diseases. Therefore, raising awareness surrounding breast cancer is incredibly important, as early detection, often through screening, can catch the disease when it is most treatable. At Touched by the Light, our goal is to raise the awareness of breast cancer and help reduce the mortality rate caused by this fatal disease. We are looking to do this by selling 5 different books that are all about helping you to improve your life to help us raise sufficient funds for our breast cancer awareness campaign. From the You Are the Prophet of Your Life by Gloria G. Lee, that's all about teaching you how to prophecy into your life like God wanted, to the Prayer Jar, that's designed to help you strengthen your prayer life, to life-saving advice that provides you with important life tips to change your life for the better, Journey to the Middle Kingdom, and What You Must Do to Win. You'll enjoy a great read that's certain to change your life. All we're asking you to do is support our breast cancer initiative by purchasing one or more of our books on WHPR TV 33, 160 Victor Street, Highland Park, www.nisv.info, and www.touchedbythelight.us. And as a token of our appreciation, we'll give you a free gift for every book you purchase. Also, please don't forget to tune in to the Women of Courage show that broadcasts on WHPR 88.1 every Friday from 3 to 4 p.m. and every Sunday from 8 to 9 a.m. Remember, by telling your friend about our campaign, you'll be helping us fight this deadly disease. Call us today at 734-786-3233 for more information. Please support our breast cancer initiative by purchasing one or more books that are on sale exclusively at WHPR TV 33, 160 Victor Street, Highland Park. The books are written to help you improve your life. Tell a friend of our campaign. We must stop this deadly disease.
Join us at the Women of Courage show every Friday from 3 to 4 p.m. and every Sunday from 8 to 9 a.m. for information that will change your life. You can also visit us at our website, touchedbythelight.us, for more information. Thank you. If you do not like your life, then change it. Listen to us when we broadcast, and we can help you find a new way.